Rev up your engines!
Well, here's some more words of not wisdom from Mary Barra, the CEO of GM. She says she's warning against the EV price war of China. She says it's a race to the bottom. Because, of course, they don't like the idea that the Chinese can make lower priced vehicles and make a profit. GM makes their profit on high-end vehicles. Price one of their new trucks, SUVs, big ones, they're super expensive because the more they cost, the more profit they have. They are not really able to build a good lower priced vehicle. Most of the lower-priced American vehicles are now gone. Think of the Chevy Vega, the Ford Pinto. Those things were garbage, and they're all gone. Americans cannot make small, cheap cars. That's not their forte, right? Big monsters are what Americans make, right? And now Mary's mad. It's a race to the bottom. Barra warned that China's escalating EV price wars, putting automakers globally under intense pressure. It's a race to the bottom. Oh, yeah, to the bottom. Maybe you're already at the bottom, or you're going even further. First, they say they're going to sell 400,000 EVs this year. Then they lower it to 200,000. And then there's the little asterisk that says, we will produce 200,000 and wholesale them. That's not selling them to you and me. That's selling them to the dealership who they forced them upon, right? Realize one thing about the United States is, you know what electric vehicles are in this country? They are 0.86% of the cars registered. Mary says she generally believes in free trade, but it's more complicated in China. They're losing money, GM. Even though they're subsidized by the government for this electric car crap, right? Having our taxpayer dollars going to these scumbag companies. And then they whine, no, we can't make money. Hey, give us some more money. Give us some more. No, if you can't make a product, go to Hades. Go out of business. Let somebody else take your place. This whole thing about trying to act like, oh, China's the evil one. Yeah, the evil one are these greedy corporations that charge too much money for the products that aren't even that good. That's why GM is a problem. They have expensive vehicles and don't work all that well. And now she's whining, oh, it's a race to the bottom with the Chinese. No, you're creating the bottom by making bad products that cost too much money. Too bad. That's what I say. Well, Mary Barra, she's whining about, oh, it's unfair competition, Chinese electric cars. Hey, now they got to watch out for the Koreans, too. Hyundai just launched their new Casper Electric Premium. Now, that is only in Korea. They only sell in Korea as it stands. But it starts at under $20,000. And with government subsidies in South Korea, it costs under $8,000. Now, I gotta say, if I could buy an electric car under $8,000, I'd probably say, what the heck? I'll buy it so I can test it out for everybody. Now, I doubt that I'd be driving it from Rhode Island to Tennessee and Tennessee to Rhode Island back and forth, because it'd be such a pain in the butt keep charging it up. But I'd keep it in one location and try it out for $8,000. Hey, we can't get much for $8,000 these days, right? The American car manufacturers are shaking in their boots because they realize they cannot make something that would work that cheap because they're corrupt. They've got too many people on the top getting paid money doing nothing. And the workers are always revolting against us because they say, we're not getting enough pay for making these things, and you're charging so much money for them. And let's face the facts. Americans do not want to make cheap vehicles. The main priority of automotive companies is not making cars. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it isn't. It's making money. And they don't want to make cars that are $20,000 or with subsidies only $8,000 because they're not making enough money. Americans have always made higher cars, bigger cars that they can charge more money for it. That's just the way that it's been going for quite some time. They keep trying to cut down. Oh, we don't want to make those small cars. You know why? Because they don't make a profit. They try to say, oh, Americans only want big cars. No, they don't. A lot of Americans are driving around small cars, but they're Korean cars. They're Japanese cars, right? They're not American cars because Americans don't know how to make small cars. They have no interest in it because there's not enough profit. And if these Koreans can make cars at that price, electric cars, there's no hope for GM, and Ford, and Chrysler making electric cars that are affordable because they just can't do it. The past shows they can't make cheaper cars that are any good. They made cheaper cars and they were junk, and they don't make them anymore. Not only you got to watch out for the Chinese electric cars, watch out for the Koreans. They're marching along with their cheap electric cars too. Here's one I got to laugh at. A tow truck driver picked up a brand new Jeep Wagoneer for the second time in 10 days. And then they wonder, Stellantis, why aren't people buying these Jeeps like they used to? You know why? Because they're made like crap. This Jeep Wagoneer SUV broke down twice in 2 weeks. The first time, it had 81 miles on the odometer, right? And then the tow truck driver, 2 days later, gets a call and he goes, wait a second, I recognize this GPS. That's the one I towed 2 days before. First, he picked it up from the owner's driveway. It was brand new, had only 44 miles on the clock. And on the way home, the guy who bought it, the Christmas tree lights lit up on a dashboard warning him. The transmission wouldn't shift gears. And he could smell something burning. Now, he towed it to the dealer, the tow truck driver, for the fix, right? 10 days later, Wagoneer was stranded again, and it wouldn't shift. Guess they didn't do a good job fixing it at the dealer. A big shocker there, right? So, he tows it back to the dealership. And the dealership, the employee said, hey, we worked on it the other day, but I guess whatever we did didn't fix it. What a surprise. And then still honest, oh, we're going to change our officers and, oh, we're going to rearrange. Hey, that doesn't have anything to do with the crap that you're making. And then your guys that fix them can't even fix them. It's a company that's in such a mess. Maybe they should just disband the stupid thing. Maybe Stellantis should have taken the money that the original owner of Chrysler, one of his relatives, said, I'll buy the company back. And they said, no, we're not going to. Maybe they should have, something like that, buying back Chrysler from Stellantis. That might have been as bad of a deal as the Cleveland Browns paying all those millions for Deshaun Watson, the proven bum. And now again, he's injured again. He can't play the rest of the year. But he's got his $250 million or whatever it was because the idiots in Cleveland gave him a contract that you'll get paid no matter what, right? Buying Chrysler back from Stellantis would probably be just as bad of a deal. Well, here's another reason to have a dash cam. I made a video about dash cams the other day, and I got one in our cars now because I realized, hey, you don't know what some idiot is going to do. Well, this guy tried to cause an accident and then collect money. His plan didn't work. He was trying to get the other person to run into him. So what did he do? He put his car in reverse and backed and slammed into the guy. This was in Queens, New York. Well, there's a lot of scammers in New York City. We all know that, right? She had a dash camera. And of course, the dash camera shows the car in front of them has the backup lights on, backing up, smashing into her car. That's why you gotta have these things. People will lie, cheat, and steal. Even in the loony state of California, they allow dash cameras to be used. It's like something like 15 seconds before and after the wreck or something like that. I don't know, they have privacy, but still, it is allowed for during the accident as evidence in court. So this guy's trying to get her to smash into him. He goes in front and brake checks in front of her, but she stops. Then he puts it in reverse and smashing into her. Well, she had a dash cam in the front and the back, so it showed the back of the guy going around her, going in front, and then slamming his brakes on. And then when that didn't work, he backed up into her. And hilarious, since it filmed the whole thing, 4 occupants came out of the car that backed into her car, and their performances were phenomenal, they said. 3 of them acted like they had headaches or feverish temperature from being hit. So they're all pretend they're injured, but then the driver notices, she's got a dash cam. Now, this is New York State, and they have weird laws, and it just happened. So, Natasha, who was driving the car with the camcorder, is waiting on her auto insurance response to the police paperwork. She said that according to NYPD, she cannot press charges until she hears back from the insurance company. Natasha and her husband are going to report insurance fraud, as well as press charges for the hit and run and vehicular assault once this is done. They got it on camera, right? Why didn't a cop just look at the camera and say, he backed up, give him a ticket? No. The land that, I guess they favor the criminals over honest people, but at least she's got it on camera, and they won't have some scam where they say, well, she ran into us. They got it on camera. They can't get away from that, right? Who knows what'll happen in the long run, because this just happened. But what's wrong with our country where, the police won't even enforce the stuff? All they do is look at the camera, okay, she backed up, give them a ticket, we got proof. They don't want to get involved. No, wait till the insurance company sees what it says. Everything's wrong in this except the person putting the camcorder on. So, if you do like I said in that video, put one on. It might save you a lot of headaches. Elon bragging, all these people reserve my beautiful Cybertruck, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Only 2.5% of the people who reserved the Cybertruck actually ended up buying one. Tesla now officially ends the Cybertruck reservation list. It's all finished. It doesn't exist anymore. And as the totals come in, 97.5% of the people who made reservations didn't buy one. That's almost as bad as the old quarterback Houston Oilers, Warren Moon. He had a foundation, and then they ended up checking out. It turns out like 98% of the money didn't go to charities and went to Warren Moon going on trips and gambling and whatever. This runs a close second, right? 97.5% of them didn't buy the the stupid thing. You can't get much of a worse record than that. So I guess the hype over the Cybertruck is now faded long into the past, and the fools that paid too much money for them are now either going to have to drive this thing or lose half or three-quarters of what they paid for the stupid things in the first place. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.